Roses are red, violets are blue, Royal High's a pain, and I don't know what to do. Okay, I know that was a little bit cheesy, but I needed something to start this video off. Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I want to have a little bit of a yap session. Not really to have a argument, but a little bit of a discussion in the comment section. I wanted to talk about all the things that I don't like about Royal High. I don't want to say hate because I feel like hate is a very strong word, and if I truly hated this game, I wouldn't be playing it to this day. But there's obviously a couple of things in Royal High that they have done or plan to do that I just don't agree with or don't like. And yes, does that kind of make me a hypocrite considering that I still play this game despite all of the things I don't like about it? Maybe, but you can't blame me. I love their dress up item. I don't like how everything costs so much, especially the shoes. I know that I've talked about this a lot before, but I feel like it's really getting out of hand with each new set. It's so annoying how every time you look at the prices, specifically the shoes cost most out of the entire set. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if it's because a lot of people like the shoes and that's why they price them up so much. I have no idea. I don't know what their thought process is on why the shoes cost tremendously more than the skirts in the game. I don't like how they deleted the daily login. That was my one way to keep a steady count of diamonds going into my account, and the fact that they got rid of that is so irritating to me. It was honestly a way for people to log into the game and simply just get a couple of diamonds just for logging in. I don't understand why they took that away. I don't know why. I don't know if they actually explained it on some sort of social media platform or they just took it away because they thought it was too much, but they need to bring it back ASAP. Why is the shop menu so messy? Like, it looks like a cover magazine, and even their magazines are a lot more organized than the shop's menu. I don't know, there's just so many click on buttons, so many clothes and sets and stuff to look at that it gets kind of messy and overwhelming. Like, you don't have like a set place for anything for the main menu. I don't know if this is really much of a gripe or anything. It's just something that I noticed, and it's kind of irritating. Every time you open up the shop, everything is just all over the place. There's no real category for where certain things are at. It's just there and in your face. I don't like how they're paying more attention to the toy sets rather than diamond sets. I feel like this is another thing where, yes, they're getting money from it, but at the same time, it's like they don't really care about their diamond sets. You can tell just by looking at like the toy sets how much time and effort they put into it. And obviously I want the toy sets to look good, but compared to the diamond sets, you can tell that they care a lot more about the toy sets than the diamond sets. And I just wish they got somewhat equal love. I feel like the people who don't want to buy toys from Royal High, they can just substitute that for the diamond sets. But the diamond sets honestly look so bland or so lackluster compared to the toy sets. And maybe that's just me, but I highly doubt that, because compared to the set that we got in March, close to April, I'm not saying that the set itself was bad or anything, but it definitely didn't pique my interest as much as the toy sets. You can just tell how much the toy sets get so much more love and TLC compared to the diamond sets. And maybe it's just biased because I'm not spending any money on this game. I'm not even buying the toys for any of the sets, but I wish the diamond sets just had that same kind of love. Hot take, but I really am not a huge fan of the new school. I know I said before that it's nothing wrong with it and how it kind of feels empty, but it literally looks like a Barbie dream house. And I've said that before, but I truly feel like there's just so much going on and so little at the same exact time. Like, I get lost. I can't exactly find each classroom, like the potion classroom or the science classroom. They're like hiding in specific parts of the school. And like, I know if you go to those classes often, you'll be able to find them. But like, I remember the first time around when I was trying to find potion class, I didn't know where that class was. There's just like, I had to go inside the library and then go downstairs to, like, I was confused. I'm not gonna lie. And maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I have to eventually just get used to it and deal with it eventually. But I genuinely feel like I'm not the only one who feels like there's just so much going on. This school is so huge and big that I have a hard time finding anything. I don't like how in this realm they specifically lowered the XP you get from doing your quests. I know why they do it, and I know exactly how this works and everything doesn't mean I have to like it. Even though I know why they're doing it, kind of makes sense. They want you to pay attention to the school classrooms, but I still don't like it. I feel like they need to add a realm where everything is open world and you can still do your quests for the same amount of XP you get in the more closed world, I should say, of the school. I'm not so much of a fan of them getting rid of the old schools. Yeah, they were a little bit rusty and crusty here and there, but they still bring back so much memories of what Royal High used to be and what made Royal High Royal High. Do you guys remember where we used to have like the fairy babies in different classrooms and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm gonna need them to bring those old classes back. Even though I never really fully played around that era of Royal High, they need to bring back those little small classes of Enchanted High. I'm pretty sure it was called Enchanted High, but I remember there's a specific class that you took for like basically taking care of baby fairies. And even though it wasn't as in-depth as it could have been to this day, they need to bring that class back. I'm pretty sure it was a class. If you guys know what I'm talking about, leave it down in the comment section box below, because I feel like I'm not alone when I say this, but that was my favorite class. I love the baby fairy class. I don't like how they got rid of the farming routines that many people had. I know people have learned to adapt to the new school and making new farming routes for diamonds, but I just don't like how they completely removed realms that spawned a good amount of diamonds. I mean, yes, you can still find diamonds in Campus 3 and everything, but it really just depends on how many people are in the server at that time. I'm pretty sure, but take it with a grain of salt. I don't know the facts on that yet. I've only heard it from other people, so I'm not too sure if that's true or not, but I'm hoping that's not the case. But even if that isn't the case, diamonds are pretty sparse. I feel like you can find one here and there, but after a while, like, they're not as frequent as they used to be in the old schools. And maybe that's just a me problem, but I'm having a hard time finding just random diamonds just on the ground, if that makes sense. I never liked how they got rid of the old events. I'm talking about Wickery Cliffs, Snow Glow Summit. All those events have hold a special place in my heart, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, because a lot of the Royal High community probably left for that reason, is because they got rid of all of the old fun events and they need to bring it back ASAP. I have no clue as to why they went ahead and took this route instead. I honestly wish there was some sort of explanation as to why they're doing the things that they're doing. I don't know if it's trying to improve Royal High or destroy it. I don't know. I'm trying not to give destructive criticism and just give constructive criticism, but it's really hard when the game is always trying to quote unquote better itself by getting rid of things that made it good. And I'm honestly still holding out hope for Royal High. That's why I'm still playing this game, is because I'm hoping that at some point, there'll be a drastic change to this game. I feel like the new school was the first step for me. I'm hoping that they'll continue in that direction, but they can also backtrack. They can take 2 steps forward and take 3 steps backward. Okay, I'm not sure if anyone can relate, but I hate the default colors for your hair. It's been what, a couple of years now since Royal High has been released, and we still have the basic color palette that looks so old and outdated for me. And I mean, I'm not talking about the game passes. I'm talking about for the people who don't have the game passes. It's really annoying to only have like the basic colors, and they don't even look good anymore. Like, they're so outdated. They don't look fresh or redone. I mean, I haven't used them in a while because they're just that old. I think the only one that looked decent is probably like the black or the brown one. But even then, like, the yellow or the blonde looks like cheese or something. I'm not sure. They just need to update it, and I don't like how you have to buy the game passes just to change your color of hair. Like, why don't we have at least any updated options, you know? Why is there not a lot of diversity in the hairs? And I'm specifically talking about black hairs. I know a lot of people have talked about this and discussed as to why there's not a lot of African American hairstyles or just black hairstyles in general. I'm not exactly sure as to why that is or what the issue is with that. I'm not sure if it's because they can't make it good or they think that it's going to be hard, because they've definitely made a couple of black hairs in the past, but at the same time, they need to keep making more consistently. I don't know if they've made a African American hair as of recently, but I've seen a couple, and personally speaking, I feel like they could do a lot better. Like, there's a lot of inspiration on Pinterest and stuff if you really need to get some inspiration or ideas on how to make African American hairs or black hairs in general, and not only just make them, but make them look good or decent. I don't want to say perfect, but make them accurate. Let's say that. The lack of any real updates, like I'm talking about exciting updates, not like, oh, we have a new outfit or we have a new set or we added a new classroom in the school. Like, I'm talking about an actual update. I can't remember the last major update. The last major update I can remember was back in like, I think it was 2018 or like 2020. I'm not exactly sure, when there was the New Year's update and we had to do all those quests and stuff. That's the only last major update that I can actually remember playing, and that was probably way back when. I can't remember when there was a big update, and maybe that's because the developers are focusing on the school and making sure that we get all the classrooms that we need for the new school. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure there is a team that works on the school, and then there's a team that works on the sets, and then there's a team that works on like the major big updates in the game. And this goes along with the lack of events in the game. So I guess that's why they don't have, or I guess that's why they got rid of the old events in the game, because they felt like they just didn't have enough hands to tackle it. Look, I have no clue. I don't necessarily like trading in this game. I feel like trading is a bit of a scam in a way. Like, for whatever reason, if you don't know how to trade or profit trade in this game, you could be getting scammed by somebody and you wouldn't even know it. Like, if you don't know the actual price of something and you try to trade it off for something else, you might not be getting what you actually bargained for. And I personally don't trade in game. I don't think I've ever made, I think the only trades I've ever done are with people that I actually know, like friends and stuff that we actually converse and we talk about, and we're like, okay, I want this and you can have that. Like, I don't just be trading with anybody. And even then, I still don't trade. I don't profit trade in this game. And I know I've only seen a couple of videos and people talking about the whole trading system and how it basically sucks. I'm not really too surprised about that. Not that I care to begin with, because I don't trade anyway. But I definitely feel like for someone who's fresh out the game and they just want to start trading and they don't know exactly what they're doing, most likely they can get scammed. And I know there's some Royal High players that won't do that. They would actually, you know, let you know like, hey, this is how much this price is going to be worth and stuff like that. But there's others who would take advantage of you not knowing and use that. And maybe that's just a skill issue for the player who should have taken the time to do some research. But at the same time, it's also not going to look good on experienced players who's been trading for years. The lack of activities in this game is scary. Like, it's genuinely making me shake in my boots. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but this game can barely keep my attention for 10 seconds. And again, that's probably just a me thing, and probably it's just a skill issue. Maybe I just need to work on my attention span. But I feel like I'm not the only one who feels like, even with the new school out and all the new classes, I just don't feel like logging in at time. And I don't know if it's because there's just not enough things to do, or I'm just not finding the joy in Royal High anymore. Like, I do feel that joy dwindle each and every time I play this game, but the lack of things to do, period, in this game is genuinely scaring me. Even during like the actual holidays like Halloween and Christmas, Easter, all of those old events that have been removed make the game now so much lackluster. Like, I can't even enjoy it. Even during the actual like holidays of the year, there's nothing going on. Everything is in the same server. Everything is in the same realm. There's just a few decorations added up, maybe a few activities here and there. there, no real incentive, and I'm just not enjoying it as much as I used to, which sucks. I don't like how the community is reacting towards what the devs are doing with the game. I understand. You have every right to be frustrated and upset. I am too. But there's no reason to be very mean or disrespectful towards the devs, especially to those who have literally nothing to do with it. Like, they're just the social media person, and there will be people in their social media comments commenting such rude and hurtful things. And I know that the social media people who quote unquote control social media page don't really respond to those type of comments or give it any time of day, but it is kind of disheartening at times to see comments who are obviously very frustrated, but they voice it in a way that's very disrespectful. Like, I feel like we're humans, we can communicate. If there's something that we obviously don't like or we don't approve of, we can express it in a very calm and respectful manner. Just like how I criticize the game about certain things that I don't like and certain things that I would want them to improve on. I don't necessarily bash them about it or get too furious with them to the point where I'm just cursing them out or I'm suing them or something like that. Like, it's gone to some lengths where people are downright harassing anyone and everyone who still plays the game. And it's just like, if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to play it, but don't be harassing other people just because you're upset or just because you're mad at the game and what it's turned into. And look, best believe I understand how it feels to see one of your favorite games go down the drain. All you want the game to do is to succeed, and to see that it's made such a backtrack from where it came from is truly disheartening. But leaving rude and nasty comments is just not going to make anything better. And I'm not saying that the whole Royal High community is like this, but I know there's definitely a few people out there who just has such strong animosity towards this game, and I feel like they need to tone it down a little bit. They need to relax. It's not that deep. Personally, it's just a game. If you're getting this heated, I'm talking about heated as if this is your game that you're created and everybody's bashing you about it, then you really need to take a step back from the game and calm down. I know I've talked about the developers a lot and how they are taking this game and where this game is going from this point on. I have no clue. I have not read any updates or any recent updates. I'm only vicariously living through other people, watching their videos on the updates of the game. And I know there is a new game that I definitely want to go ahead and try out that I'll definitely make a video about in the future. But I just feel like the developers really need to listen to their player base. I don't know if they're trying to do that now or if they plan to do that in the future, but they need to start listening to their player base fast before they start losing them. And I know I talked about how it's more of it's not always just a give and take type of thing. It's kind of where both sides of the community and developers need to listen to each other. The developers need to listen to their community, and the community need to listen to the developers. But I feel like with the developers, it goes through one ear and out the other. They're not really paying attention to what players actually want in the game, and they're losing their players because of that. They're losing not only their old players, but their new player. For example, how they changed for a new player how to actually play this game. It was a lot easier back when the game first started, like the game first launched on Roblox. It was a lot easier to just get in and start role playing. You didn't really need to have a lot of diamonds just to role play. Now you need to have a substantial amount of diamonds to even buy textbooks for your quests, for your daily quests. You need to buy a brush. Like, off the bat, I don't even think you get a lot of diamonds. I think you get like 50 or 500. I'm not exactly sure the exact amount for a new player, but you don't get a lot. You don't get nearly a lot. And I've talked about how certain quests, you need a certain item that costs diamonds, and you need to buy that, and you just don't have the diamonds for it. That's really irritating. I'm glad I didn't start playing Royal High in 2025, 2024, because it would have been a lot harder to play without the game passes. I would have just lost joy in it all completely, especially now that the daily login has been removed from the game. It makes it 10 times harder. I wouldn't say impossible, but it makes it 10 times harder to even get a good amount of diamonds. Like, they need to fix that. And this goes on to my next point of them having a higher amount of diamonds earned for each quest, or like having a higher amount of diamonds for each level up. Like, just for the basic leveling up without any game passes, you only get like 300 diamonds, and nowadays in this royal high, that's not enough to afford an accessory. You can't even afford a headband or a bow or some gloves. That's not nearly enough. I don't even think you can buy a toothbrush with that. I'm not sure. I can't even remember. The prices are so outrageously high, and the amount of diamonds that you're getting don't match that at all. There's probably a bunch of things that I'm missing and a bunch of things that I've kind of ranted about and went off about. And I know there's a lot of people who can agree with me in the comment section box below. So let me know down below some of the things that you don't like about Royal High and what they changed so far. Maybe I forgot a few, but some of these things that I've already talked about, I've talked about in my previous videos in more depth. But yeah, this has just kind of been my list. I'm probably missing some. I didn't actually write any of this stuff down. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, everyone.